So, I mean, we know that Malcolm X had also, like yourself, his understanding of the religion of Islam changed as he traveled around. Well, I mean, what was your relationship with him in this respect? Did you guys?
I'm sorry to say that it changed only when he got in trouble. I know how you all look up to Malcolm.
Right.
I look up to him too for his good works and his good records as a powerful leader. Yeah, but I know the truth and I can't keep it from you. He only changed when he got in serious trouble and knew he couldn't be accepted in the Nation of Islam. He was a very shrewd man.
But before all this took place, I mean, did you guys have a relationship? Were you close, or were you just acquaintances?
Yes, very close, very close. In fact, all the young ministers, I think he's 10 or 12 years my senior, but all the young ministers were very close. Farrakhan, Malcolm, myself, and some others, Robert D. and others, all very powerful speakers. Not myself. I don't call myself a powerful speaker.
But of course you are.
I'm a mild-natured person. I don't like to be excitable, you know.
Right. Mashallah.
That's against my nature.
Mashallah.
But anyway, we were close friends. We met with each other in our homes. My wife had just had the first child for us, Layla, and I was living in Philadelphia. My father had sent me there to head up the Temple of Islam there. And Malcolm was in New York, not far from Philadelphia. Farrakhan was in Boston, not far from Philadelphia. So we were seeing each other, and we were friends. We were associates, friends.
Right. And also, I mean, if we can just talk a bit about your relationship with Muhammad Ali, and were you around when he first became Muslim, and were you involved in that process of teaching him about Islam?
No, I was not involved, but I was around.
Right.
Malcolm, he was the person that I say should be given the credit for bringing Muhammad Ali, Cassius Clay, into the Temple of Islam, and my father was responsible for giving him the name. They brought, he came and had dinner with my father one day, and after my father saw him and my father liked him, he was excitable, a young man, very excitable, had a great charisma, you know.
Right.
They called him Big Mouth. And he would be going on. So anyway, my father said, you should take the name Muhammad Ali. And he was so happy to get the name Muhammad Ali. And from that time on, he was called Muhammad Ali, and you know his history. It's still going on.
Right.
He's still working for Dawah.
Yeah, alhamdulillah. I see him. When you meet him, he doesn't just give you an autograph. He autographs some Islamic literature or something.
Yes, he still tried to help people come to Islam.
Right. And now if we can just like move forward a bit. Imam, there was a point in history where after your father died, there was a point in history where you became the leader of the Nation of Islam, and you charted a new course in terms of the Islamic beliefs. So tell me a bit about that.
Yes. I had, during the maybe last 3 or 4 years before the passing of my father, I knew then that the Nation of Islam was going to be without a leader, without my father, and that I should do everything that I could to prepare myself for the leadership. And my father knew that, and he told his national staff that my son, up until this time now, I was not allowed to preach to the following. But my father had accepted me back, and I think he felt that he could safely free me to go about preaching. So he told the national staff one Sunday after the temple meeting, we met at his home, and he said to Raymond Sharif, looking right in Raymond Sharif's face, he said, my son can go anywhere he wants and teach or preach. So I was free.
Right.
And I went about. I had the support of Abbas Rasul, the national secretary, very strong man in the national leadership. And he supported me and arranged for me to go to different temples all over, the most important ones, you know, in the big cities.
Right.
And I went to all of them, Farrakhan Temple too. I went to all of them. And he was in New York at the time, because you know when Malcolm was rejected, Minister Louis Farrakhan became the national spokesperson for the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Nation of Islam. So I went to all those places preaching. Now, this is February 1975, and my father passed and was not able to, he passed in Chicago hospital in Chicago, and he was not, therefore, he was not able to lead the following on the day of the annual convention.
Right.
Yes. So at the annual convention, the national leaders, based in Chicago, most of them, Abbas Rasul, the national secretary, Raymond Sharif, the supreme captain, his assistant, my brother, the assistant supreme captain Elijah Muhammad Jr., and the minister who was head of the temple in Chicago, Minister James Shabazz.
Right.
They all were there. So they had different ones speak, and I spoke last. They had me speak lastly. My brother Nathaniel Muhammad, called Musalli now, he was in Kansas City, and he was there too, and they had him speak, and they had Farrakhan speak. Minister Louis Farrakhan was there, and he spoke as the national spokesperson. And then after them, they had me speak, okay? Okay, so I spoke, and I gave new direction. I told them that now that we don't have the leader, I say, what do we have? I say, we have the Quran. I say, now it's time for us to turn to the Quran. And when I finished my talk, and I talked in symbolic language, I knew that's what they were used to, symbolic language. But I gave a new symbolic language, okay? My language, my direction was given in a new symbolic language. So I'm using a lot of new concepts, you know. Man is mine, etc. And they liked it very much. So after I finished, the national secretary came up with the supreme captain, and they said, "This is our leader, and we support our leader." And Farrakhan was there too.
And he supported you.
And he was on stage. So the fruit lifted me up. That's why they lift me up on their shoulders. I felt very embarrassed, but they lift me up